Hi Cancer, I hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to your 2019 forecast. So the way that we're going to do this is I will pull major arcanas from one deck. I have all the major arcanas from one deck. I will pull a major arcana for each month, January through June. And if you would like to get the extended, which will be July through December, you can find that on Vimeo or on my website. All of that information is in the description box below. Once we pull a major arcana, an overall theme for each month, I will clarify with tarot. So I hope you guys are having a good new year with all these crazy energies, these eclipse energies. If you're watching this in January, you know what I'm talking about. If you're watching this in March, you still know what I'm talking about because the eclipse energy, oof, it was a lot, man. It was so much. Still happening. We still have one to go on the 21st. So, all right, let's do this. Okay, I just want to make sure they were all upright. I'm going to do one more shuffle. Okay. Ooh, so January we have the moon. Speaking of eclipses, thank you very much. February we have the star. March, we have the devil, which is the shadow side in this deck. April, we have the hanged man. May, we have the lovers. And June, we have the fool. All right. So these readings have been really, really deep. So when you're listening to this, I feel like, yes, there will be some relationship stuff in it. But these 2019 readings have really been coming out in a very existential way, where we're all super looking like we're working on ourselves big time. Like it's almost as if all the lessons that we all learned in 2018 are kind of being brought into play, like into the forefront for 2019. So as you're listening to this reading, yes, you can put it in any area of your life that works, but really kind of keep it in a broad perspective, because I do feel like, yes, there will be some relationship stuff that's coming up here. But I also think there's a lot of inner, especially with the moon and the star and the devil being the first 3 months, I feel like there's a lot of inner work that you're doing in the first 3 months, because with the moon, this is all about being honest with yourself. And you guys, the moon rules Cancer, right? You guys rule. I don't even know why I had to say that. I feel like you're kind of battling this. It's very combative energy, but it's super karmic. It's like you have to kind of go through this right now because there are lessons within it. There are some karmic things coming up for you in order for you to recognize where your true path is, recognize where your star is leading you. It's so funny because the star is the last card that came out, and that's the first card for February. I love it when shit like that happens. Excuse me my language. So we have the 5 of Wands and we have the devil. So you could be dealing with a Capricorn. But we also have the moon, the world and the star. So there are definitely some cycles in your life that are ending right now. And I feel like it kind of has to, because there's been this inner turmoil that's going on. And it's almost like, what's my destiny? Where am I going? And I feel like there's a lot of healing moments in it. But more than anything, it's releasing a lot of karma with Saturn and Pluto going, in Capricorn, and you have this North Node transit all of 2019, half of 2020, and Capricorn is the South Node, which represents karma, right? So you guys are finding your place in the world. You're finding your place in society. You're finding your place where, like, what is it that I'm truly existing here for? That's the whole question of 2019 for you guys. And the karma South Node, yes, your relationships, you will have some karmic things come up in your relationships this year. That's just kind of a given when your South Node is Capricorn and Saturn and Pluto are in Capricorn and the South Node is in Capricorn, karmic relationships will be right? If you have a decision that you need to make in January, this could have to do with travel. It could have to do with work. It could have to do with where you're like really placing your values and stuff in the world. If you're finding yourself like in this juggling mode and kind of arguing with other people, I want you to be the one that's like the bigger person in this. I want you to rise above, because this vacillating over because I feel like what you're doing is, do I interact with this mess, this old big old jumbled mess over here, or do I let it go? You know, or do I like, is this worth my time? Is it worth my energy? I want you to really ask yourself those questions, because I feel like there's some karmic lessons that you're learning. And yes, exactly. Relationships, home, marriage. I feel like it's a pick your battles kind of time. Getting super honest with yourself, with the moon as the overall energy. Pick your battles. What is it that you want to fight for? Because I don't feel like you want to fight for everything. You want to fight for love. But you want to keep the peace in a really big way. And if you're the only one that's wanting to keep the peace, that's such a tough place to be in, right? So we have the Knight of Cups, the Knight of Cups on the world. This is a really big representation of how you guys can shrink yourselves when you're closing out cycles, because you don't want to ruffle feathers. And I feel like the Knight of Cups energy, sorry, I had to release energy in my neck. So many people hate when I do that, but I can't help it because I can't think straight if my neck is all scrunched up like that. Because being the Knight of Cups and not the King or the Queen of Cups, I feel like you're recognizing I feel like this is the ending of this cycle. Where do I shrink myself in order to keep the peace? And where do I value myself enough in order to keep balance within my own energy and my own life and my own existence and my bubble, right? You know, like in Dirty Dancing where they have this is your dance space and this is my dance space. You don't go in mine and I don't go in yours. Let's dance kind of thing. Like, that's what I feel like you're doing. You're like, this is my energy. This is your energy. You deal with your energy. I'll deal with my energy. We'll all live a really happy life. Yada, yada, yada. Yeah? Okay. So allow yourself to not shrink away. Don't shrink away. Like, don't be small for anybody. But really pick your battles. Really, really pick your battles right now. Because I feel like with the star, the star, I always want to call it the North Star. And it's very fitting that the North Node is in Cancer through this entire year. You are doing a lot of healing. You're doing a lot of balancing. You're doing this balancing act and healing in order to find your place in the world, find your place in the universe, find your very existence. Like, what am I supposed to be doing? I'm not entirely sure. And I want you to know that your the perseverance that you have and like the fight that you guys have is unlike anybody that I've ever known. Like, you guys will just keep going and going and going. It's like the Energizer Bunny. You keep going and going and going until you drop. And again, pick your battles, really like make sure that you're protecting your energy and the energy source. But with the 9 of Wands and the Page of Swords, again, being super honest on where you're fighting your battles and where you need to keep pushing and keep persevering. There is a really big energy shift for you in February. I feel like in order for you to start making shit happen, like that's how I want to say it. You're making stuff happen. You're making shit happen. The Magician and the Wheel of Fortune right next to each other, that's a beautiful combination because the wheel is like you've made the wheel turn. You became the Magician. You started the turning of the wheel. And now things are really starting to look up in your favor big time. You may not 100% feel like that right now, but the perseverance that you have and the battles that you are choosing to fight and the ones that you are choosing to release are going to be a really big indication of how far you can get yourself, you know? So there's that relationship sector right here with the lovers. You could also be dealing with a Gemini, but I feel like you're feeling a little bit battered and bruised in whatever relationship you're in. It seems like a pretty strong connection, but you're feeling really battered and bruised. And the Page of Swords for me is like trimming of the fat, and the Six of Swords on it is perfect for that, because you literally are coming into a mental balanced state in mind, mental clarity and balance in your mind. Shut up, Betsy. Just say it. You're coming into a time where you're no longer going to put up with the BS. You're cutting that all out. And it's something that I feel like you've been holding on to for quite some time. And whether this is in a relationship or whether it's with a Gemini, it doesn't really matter. You're making space because the Wheel of Fortune is very Jupiterian energy. And with Jupiter and Sagittarius, it's going to benefit all of us in different ways as long as you make the space to do it. This definitely may have to do with the Gemini, since we have the King of Swords on the Wheel of Fortune, but also the Magician represents Gemini too. So the King of Swords on the Wheel of Fortune is, I do feel like whoever the King of Swords person is, who is in your life, they're a person who's extremely logical, a person who just kind of like always has the answer or always thinks they have the answer. The energy is shifting. I think that things are starting to calm out, like the waters are starting to calm out in February, because you're, and it's not that you're leaving somebody behind. I don't feel like you're actually leaving somebody. Maybe some of you are, maybe some of you have to, because you've been fighting for this. But I feel like what's happening is because you're choosing to pick your battles, you're leaving all of that emotional stuff behind with the Eight of Cups. You're like, you know what? That's a drain on my energy and I'm not going to deal with it anymore. That's your thing. That's your journey. That's what you have to heal within you. I am not going to deal with that. You do it. You do you, I'll do me. And I feel like that's where the big energy shift is with the King of Swords. I feel like there's kind of an understanding of this is your space and this is my space. So, you know, that's, and the beauty of it is this is kind of a destined position for you to be in, because I feel like you're learning how to interact with the people that you love in your life in order to create the best possible space for you. You know, which is great energy, Cancer. I love it. So March, we have the Devil, which is the shadow side, Capricorn. So lots of work happening. I feel like you have a lot of work decisions. Capricorn does represent the 10th house and how we like present ourselves in the world, how we present ourselves in society, how other people see us, you know. It's a very social, putting ourselves out there, but it's also all about work, hard work, Eight of Pentacles, Two of Wands. And I think you're trying to decide on where to put your energies in when it comes to work and like the much needed steps that you need to take in order to get there. So, and March is going to be, oh, there we go. There's the King of Pentacles, lots of pentacles here. And there may be an earth sign that you are collaborating with or working with, somebody that you're extremely close to, that you kind of have that connection with that defies all space and time. Now, again, the Six of Cups, and I've said this before to people, yes, this can be one of those really strong relationships, you know, the soulmate, the twin flame, but soulmates also come in other shapes and sizes, friends, family, stuff like that. So if you're not in a relationship or a relationship doesn't come into you in March, this Six of Cups connection that you have with the King of Pentacles could very well be just somebody that you're collaborating with in work. So there's the King of Swords again with the Eight of Pentacles. I think that the King of Swords energy in this spread is you being super discerning about where you're spreading your energy, because we also have the Page of Swords again. This is a really big making sure that you're setting your boundaries kind of year. And I think that's what Cancer's doing, is setting their boundaries big time. And they're like, and again, like, I'm not going to put up with the BS anymore. I'm not going to deal with all the crap that just keeps on bringing me down. That's just not going to happen. No, 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 not doing it. And the Page of Swords on the Two of Wands is telling me that you have to be honest with honest and discerning with yourself on the decisions that you're making in order for you to, like, because I feel like you're making worldly decisions. Like, I feel like you're making, this is going to change my world. This is going to change my life. This, getting a new job. Do I really want to live, maybe possibly moving, traveling somewhere. It could be that, so we have the Hierophant on the King of Pentacles. And so this could be a Taurus that you're dealing with, because the King of Pentacles actually represents Taurus as well, since kings are fixed signs. This could also be somebody who's just very, very established and spiritual. And somebody that you kind of, it's almost like a teacher energy, somebody that you learn a lot from and have an extremely close connection with. Let's see what the Six of Cups. Three of Cups, yeah. And I do feel like the collaboration with the King of Pentacles is actually going to be a celebration. It could be like, there could be like marriage involved as well here, or any kind of, it's like the institution of marriage, it's higher learning, stuff like that. But with the Three of Cups on the Six of Cups, I feel like there's a lot of celebrations and a lot of really good, happy moments that are happening. And that's why I feel like it's changing your world, right? There's a part of you that really wants things to kind of slow down a little bit so you can be a little bit more logical and make some rational decisions. But I'm going to say that the energy is not really going to let you do that. I kind of feel like things are happening really, really fast for you on purpose, because, we want to be able to get this North Node and Cancer transit thing going for you guys, So good energies all around for all of this in March. With the shadow side, it could also be a Capricorn that you're dealing with. But I think that this is bringing up some, like, am I ready? Am I ready? Am I ready? Am I ready? Is this all going kind of fast? It's very karmic. It feels very, very karmic. And I think the reason why I'm saying am I ready is because then we get to April and you get kind of stuck with the Hanged Man. And it's not always a bad thing to be in the Hanged Man position, because you're kind of forced to see things in a different way, see things in a different light. But at the same time, you don't want to stay there for too long, because all the blood will rush to your brain and then your head will swell up and it'll hurt really bad, right? So, you could be dealing with the Pisces. We have the High Priestess and the Hanged Man, but it's the same. They're basically the same thing. The High Priestess can see everything, feel everything, but doesn't really say a lot. She keeps it all to herself. So if you're right now kind of sitting, like, not right now, but in April, if you're kind of sitting in a place of in limbo and not really sure where you're going to next, I think that there are a lot of things. I feel like you're being quiet. I feel like you're being quiet, but you're being called to open up, but you're like not. Okay? So we have the High Priestess, we have the Six of Cups, we have the Judgment card, and we have the Ace of Swords. Yeah, so I feel like you're being really super quiet and you're just kind of minding your own business here in April. But it seems to me like there might be this calling where you're supposed to be opening up in some way. Could have to do with your past or that relationship, that really comfortable relationship with the King of Pentacles. And it definitely has to do with home for sure. Let's see what we get here. It's Judgment. And yeah, I feel like, all right. So I kind of feel like you guys are in a place you're trying to decide what home feels like. What is home? What does home feel like to you? What does home mean for Cancer in April? And the reason why I feel like you're doing that is because you want more. You want to build from something that's much more solid and stable than where you are right now. And home, for me, home isn't really a place. Yes, it's nice to have all the things, and you guys do very well with having but you have your home on you all the time with the shell, right? So I want you to remember that home is actually within you. And I think that you're kind of recognizing that depending, like, it doesn't really matter what is going on in the material world or the outside world, being like building up a home, a very stable home environment within yourself is like first and foremost for you guys. And I think part of the reason why you have to do that is because I feel like whatever happened in March, or even the beginning, the first half of the year, whatever happened in the first half of the year, it's almost like you've had to, like, I'm actually seeing somebody putting a protective coating on a shell of a crab. I feel like you've had to protect your shell. You've had to protect your world. You've had to protect your outer world, right? Seven of Wands with Judgment. And the universe is saying that it's time for you to come out of your shell, but I don't feel like you're ready. Just like in March, I had that feeling like I'm just not ready. Things are happening too fast. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. And I feel like you're kind of having that existential crisis conversation. Can we slow it down a little? I almost feel like you're begging to source or God or the universe. Like literally, I feel like you're like, could we slow this down a little bit? Because I'm not sure I'm ready. And source is saying, but you are. You are ready. You just don't feel like it. So get quiet. Become the high priestess. Find out what it feels like to be at home within yourself in 2019 and allow the building to happen from the inside out and to not necessarily protect yourself. Like, don't build the wall around yourself. I almost made a political joke right there, but I'll just stay quiet because I don't want to get into politics. So don't put a huge wall up. Healthy boundaries are always good, but I feel like the universe is preparing you for something really, really big towards the middle of the year. And this can only happen if you open yourself up and you're vulnerable to it. And I know that can be really scary because you're like, you mean you want me to come out of my shell and actually get vulnerable about something? But what if I get hurt again? Because I feel like something happened in the beginning of the year where you had to get super honest with yourself and where you had to protect yourself, right? And so now you're like, I don't want to feel that again. I don't want to go there again. I hope that made sense to somebody. It was very deep. That was a very deep message for April. And then for May, and this is what I feel like you're getting ready for. One, you're getting ready for a pretty big relationship, but I also feel like you're getting ready for a new beginning in June, like a whole brand new needing to take a risk kind of new beginning. And, you know, when we tarot readers talk about the energies that are going on for each month, it's not that that energy is just going to stop working itself just within that month. Sometimes it's like a day or two, but usually energies last for a couple of weeks or even a couple of months, right? And so when you're going through something and you're working through something in the energy of 1 month, it can spill over into 2 or 3 months in order for you to get to the spot that you need to get to in your journey, right? And where are you trying to get to? Well, let's see. I feel like there's this really big relationship, like culmination relationship that's happening for you this year. And I'm not sure that you're either not recognizing it or you're kind of apathetic to the whole idea at this point, right? 4 of Cups. Then we have the 10 of Pentacles and the 10 of Cups and the 9 of Wands. And as you come into this, the 10 of Pentacles and the 10 of Cups looks really, really pretty on the outside. But you're sitting here going, I don't want to accept this because how much am I going to have to fight for it again? Or how much is this going to like beat me down? Am I really going to have to be battered and bruised at the end just like I was all the other times? I feel like that if you were to open yourself up to this, that it could be a really, really beautiful thing. I really do. I feel like it could be kind of amazing in a lot of ways. But you have to be receptive to it, and I'm not sure, you know, you were kind of holding back in March and April. You're like, I'm going to go into my shell. I don't really want to do this. May shows up, and you're being caught. And see, this is what I mean. You don't see it coming. It hits you upside the head. It comes straight from the universe. It comes straight from source. Kind of an amazing thing that's coming in, but you're in a Two of Swords state because you're like, I don't wanna, which is really funny because I actually texted my friend who has a Cancer moon, and I texted him today and I said, I don't wanna. And that's what I feel like you're doing. You're like, no, I've protected myself. I have my boundaries up. I don't want to go through this again. What is this going to cause me? What is it going to be like? Like how, I can't. I just can't. Let's see what the Ten of Pentacles is and the Ten of Cups before you decide that you just can't. Because I think that you just can. It's just a fear. And it's a fear of the unknown. That's the biggest thing. And it's the biggest paralyzer that we have is the fear of the unknown, right? So here we go. 10 of Pentacles. Whoa. Nope, that's too many. I'm like, if that was just one, I would have picked it up. Okay. So could be a Leo. But it's also about gaining your, like how we talked about finding what your home feels like for you, right? Because the Ten of Pentacles for me can sometimes be just that big old facade that we all live in because society says that we're supposed to. It's the big house, it's the big family, it's the big this and this and this, right? I kind of feel like that this is calling on some inner strength because you've just now built your home. You've just now found your home, and now you're being asked to share it with somebody. And by that, I mean your shell, right? You just protected your shell. You just put the protective coating on your shell. And now you're being asked to let people in or let a particular person in. And I think that this person actually eases your mind more than you think they will, or more than you expected. Because I think with the Six of Swords on the Ten of Cups, I think that this can be something that can kind of defy space and time, right? When it's the Lovers, when it's that big of an energy, it can defy all that is. But you have to be willing to keep persevering through it, push through the fear of the unknown, the fear of the possibility of getting hurt again. If you never took risks and you always just sat within fear, you would never do anything in your life. I mean, I wouldn't be doing this if I would have listened to my fears. I wouldn't be doing this. Not at all. 10 of Wands and the King of Cups. The 9 of Wands. And that's what I'm saying. Like, keep pushing through. Because this, the King of Cups is obviously you. You don't have to be a man. You can be a woman. And the King of Cups also. Gender neutral. But this is doing the work regardless of the fear. Persevering and getting through and getting to your 10 of Cups, getting to your 10 of Pentacles. It's being given to you. Are you going to accept it? That's the question here. Are you going to accept it? So let's see. Taking a risk in June with the Fool, allowing yourself to push through the fear, allowing yourself to push through the possible rejection, the possible pain, the possible not knowing, the unknown. Again, could be with a Capricorn, but I feel this is very karmic for you. And when I say that it's karmic, I mean there's a lesson in this big time of you trusting and having faith in what's happening in your life and in the universe and in the cosmos and in your soul contract, and not stopping yourself from getting all of your blessings because of fear. I feel like that's what your big lesson is for the first half of the year, for sure. And let's get one more. Whoa. There were like 20 that wanted to come out. Let's get one more. There we go. Yes. You are, I feel like some of you might even be starting a business, but I feel like some of you are starting a new relationship. Some of you possibly could be getting hitched, maybe to a Taurus or a Capricorn. It might be scary. You might not really, I mean, because the Fool, it's like he's standing on that ledge. He doesn't know what's down there. He's just going to go, right? We have the Magician and we have the Three of Pentacles. You have all of the tools and all of the abundance in order to build a new life for yourself right now. It's all laid out. It's all mapped out in front of you. It's like being handed to you. And it's totally up to you on whether you're going to go for it or not. I feel like some of you are really going to just go head first and be like, yep, I'm ready. Let's go. Let's do this. I built my home. I'm ready to share it with other people. Let's do it. Right? Knight of Swords on the Hierophant. And I feel like some of you are going to be blocking it. Like I was going to say that, and the Seven of Wands came out on the Devil. I feel like some of you I feel like some of you are going to miss the lesson here and not take the risk. And I think some of you will. It's like this half and half, this 50-50. Some of you will take the risk and some of you won't. But all of you, I feel like, are manifesting a whole new reality for yourself because you're tired of the same kind of BS that you've been going through year after year after year, and the North Node isn't going to let you sit in bleh land anymore. It's bigger than that now. It's much bigger than that. So we have the Wheel of Fortune on the Magician. Okay. And the Three of Pentacles. Yes, Seven of Pentacles. You're planting your seeds. You're making your harvest. You're the one that's shifting the energy to make things happen, right? Wheel of Fortune on the Magician, and the Seven of Pentacles on the Three of Pentacles. You're the ones that are planting the seeds and watching everything grow in a lot of abundant ways. And knowing that you did this, knowing, and maybe that risk was in a relationship. Maybe that risk was in work. Maybe for some of you, that risk was in your home life, or some of you, the thing is I feel like some of you are still in this protective mode where you're blocking people out and blocking things out. And that's a karmic lesson that you really have to learn within yourself. But a lot of you are actually going to just like go for it. Like hit the ground running and just get going. Okay. Because I think that you have a lot of really great ideas and seeds being planted within you, and therefore you planting them. So man, get it, Cancer, get it. All right, guys, if you would like to see the extended, which is the July through December, click the link in the description boxes below. You can either go to my website and order it there, or you can go to Vimeo and get the video there. I've been suggesting Sun, Moon, Rising. If you want to get Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, or Sun, Moon, and Rising, because it all kind of represents different parts of your life, I suggest getting the playlist. All of the signs will be in the playlist by the end of January. So if you get the playlist and you haven't received, and not all the signs are in there yet, it's coming. I promise they'll be there. I love you guys. I will see you for the January soulmate readings and the rest of the year. Bye.